So right now I was just doing my English homework, but in the middle of it, I got an idea and I wanted to share it to you guys. This is something that I have been using myself for the last, I think, 3 days, and it actually works for me. So I hope you guys try it out and see if it actually benefits your life and prevents you from procrastinating stuff that's valuable to you. The thing I'm talking about is using your phone recorder to just record your voice right before you're trying to get into a task, right? So for me, before I got into doing my English homework, what I did was I didn't want to do it, right? And I was in the middle of just watching YouTube videos after YouTube videos after YouTube videos. And the way to stop that is by simply recording your voice, and now you're just talking to yourself, or at least the microphone, like pretty much what I am right now. But you're recording your thoughts, or you're saying random stuff like, hey, I'm about to do this homework, and then you talk to yourself pretty much. And here's why that helps, right? When you're watching a bunch of YouTube videos, after a while you're pretty much just watching it subconsciously, like you're not even thinking about it. You're just trying to finish one and then go to another one. And that prevents you from actually doing what you want to do, which is stuff that's actually valuable to you, right? And by doing this technique of trying to talk to your phone recorder will help you stop that process, because now you're pretty much tricking your brain into thinking that you're still stimulating it. So by talking to yourself, you're pretty much treating it like you're talking to someone else. Now your brain itself does not know if your phone is a person or not, because it wasn't evolved to do that. Your phone does not know if your brain does not know if your phone is a person or not. So kind of just talk to yourself or talk to your phone as if there was someone there, as if you were actually talking to a friend while you're doing homework. So it no longer feels like as much work, and you no longer have the stress that you would usually have before doing that work, which is why you procrastinate in the first place. The reason why you procrastinate is because you have stress about the task you're about to do, and you think it's going to be harder than it actually is. So to eliminate that hardness roadblock, the best way to do it is to try to make it so it's easier to get into that mindset, get into that flow of working, right? And in the beginning, one of the best ways I like to do it nowadays is just having my phone recording on the side, and then I usually say stuff for like the first 2-3 minutes, or maybe sometimes even up to 5 minutes, right? But then after a while, I even forget about the phone, and then I get laser focused into what I'm actually doing. So for my specific case right now, I started with my phone on the side, and I was saying random stuff and making random noises, which is pretty fun to actually do, but that's besides the point. But I was making random noises. I was just sharing my thoughts into the microphone as if I'm having a conversation with the phone itself, as if it is my friend. Then you can actually make your phone a friend by actually utilizing it to the best capability it can. But wait, what was I talking about again? Let's see. Yeah, so when you're trying to make your phone as a friend, right? Now you no longer think that task is as hard, because you now associate social communication with that task. And guess what? Your brain loves social communication. And you no longer have the same stress as you would have in the first place for that task. So now you want to do that task almost, because when you're watching YouTube videos, guess what? You're not interacting with anyone, you're just watching it, right? So you no longer have that same amount of communication that you would if you're just talking to a phone. Like when I'm talking to a phone, I'm not expecting a response from it, but I'm still creating new ideas, and that's constantly stimulating my brain. And that stimulation makes me feel good for a certain period of time, and I take advantage of that feeling good or that dopamine rush for a little bit by hopping into my laptop and start working, right? And when I'm working, guess what? Now it no longer feels like something hard that I have to do. I just keep working, I just keep working, I just keep working. And then after a while, I no longer have to make a conversation with my phone anymore. I just get laser focused into whatever I was supposed to do. And I can turn off the recording. So pretty much, the value, or I guess the lesson you should get from this video itself is a good trick that you might want to try to stop procrastinating on certain things, especially if they're work that you have to sit down for. That would be by recording your voice and talking to the phone while you're doing that work, at least for the first couple minutes, or maybe even the first 30 seconds. So the valuable task, no longer seems as daunting to you. So that's pretty much all. I hope this technique works as good for you guys as it does for me, because for me it helps me a lot. And I'm back on the grind, you know what I'm saying? I was taking like 2 weeks off. I was taking 2 weeks off from not working pretty much. I was just chilling, dude. I wasn't just chilling because I felt like shit because I wasn't working. But nowadays I'm back on the grind, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna do what other people were doing for the last 2 weeks, both classwork and homework in this quarantine, and I'm gonna do it in one day. By tomorrow at like 4 or 5 o'clock, because it's like 4 or 5 right now, I'll tell you guys how my progress went and if I did everything I needed to for at least one class. So I'm taking one class at a time. I'm doing whatever that people would have done for that one class in in 2 weeks, and I'm doing it in one day, right? So I'm gonna do that for all my classes, but today it's English time, baby. And if I do that too fast, if I'm already done with it, I'm gonna go get some sleep, get some rest, you know, because tomorrow it's cycling that for another subject. For another subject, it might be history, you know. And it continues. That's something you shouldn't take away from this video, because all I wanted you guys to take away was the technique of just recording yourself and seeing if that actually helps with your procrastination habit. And I'm probably the worst procrastinator I know. So if it helps me, it most likely helps you guys. I'll see you guys later. I hope you took away something from this video. And I hope you have a good day or a good night. See you later.